I'll show you how to use your Epson WorkForce WF-7820 printer from the very beginning. As you see, I just unboxed it. So the first step would be to remove all the blue tape. There is some here, there is some on the tape, so we can start setting it up. Next, we're gonna take the power cable that came included in the box. We're gonna go on the back of the printer on the lower right side. This is where this side of the cable goes. So we're gonna align these three prongs with the cable and I'm gonna push it all the way in. And then I'm gonna plug it in the wall outlet. We're gonna press the power button and wait until we are asked to select the language. This screen tilts up to 90 degrees if it's easier for you. Since it's a touch screen, you're going to select your language. You can go down in case you don't want English. Select your country. Select if you're during winter or summer. This is for the time. Select in which way you want the date to be displayed on the screen. And now simply confirm the date over here in case it's not the right one. Select which way you want the time to be displayed. Set up the time by typing over here. Let's say it's 7 a.m. Now wait. If you see this message, open the scan lid. You may have forgot to remove this blue tape on the side and press OK. Next, we will be asked to install the ink cartridges in the printer. Let me show you how this is done. Step number one is to pull up this top panel. So on the side here, you're going to notice there is a notch where you can put your fingers. There is a similar one on the other side. Pull up, and this needs to be done when the printer is turned on, because as you notice, the carriage where we have to install the cartridges will be moving around. So wait a few seconds. I would say after 20 seconds the carriage will stop on the right side. Over here you see there's an arrow simply telling you it has stopped the right way. You're going to take this blue lid and you're going to pull it on, okay, open it up. It's very important to install the cartridges in the right order, so we have black, cyan, magenta and yellow. Let me open them up. Once you pull an ink cartridge, before inserting it, we have to remove the yellow label. So rip it off. The ink cartridge name will be on the top, and what you need to do is to grab it this way, so you should be able to see what's on the top and be able to read it. Since this is the black ink cartridge, it's the first one, we're gonna drop it in its spot like this, and then there is a circle here where it says to push. Push until it clicks. Then let's do the next one. This is the cyan. I'm gliding it and then I'm pushing on the white circle. And I'll do the same thing for the other one. Before doing this, let me just show you how to replace an ink cartridge. So in the future, when one of them is empty, you're gonna stick your finger on the top and you're gonna push towards you like this. It will unlatch the cartridge and you'll be able to glide it out. The latch is on the top and yeah, you need to push it to unlock it. So let me continue. Okay, once all of them are installed, don't forget to close the blue lid. And then to close this top lid, you're going to push it down slowly. Here we go. If it's the first time you're setting up this printer, the printer will notice you have input the ink, and it will take about 4 minutes so that the ink is initialized. So wait 4 minutes. Once you get the blue check mark with initialization complete, press the close button, and now we need to insert the paper. Press OK. And here you're going to have paper settings. There is 2 different paper trays in this printer. I'll show you how both of them, where both of them are and how to load them. And over here you'll be able to set up which type of paper you have input in the first one and in the second one. This printer has 2 different paper inputs. The first one is located on the front. If I pull this lower drawer towards myself, this is a cover that can be removed simply by pulling it out. So this is the first drawer. You're going to notice the paper size that this drawer can have right over here. You can also extend the drawer to input larger paper. You see there is a latch here. If you push on the latch and pull at the same time, you'll be able to extend the drawer up to 11-inch by 17-inch paper. For this video, I will input in this lower drawer some US letter size paper. So to do so, I'm gonna pinch this tab and I'm gonna put it right over here. I want to put letter size paper, therefore I will stop this latch beside LTR. And this other latch, I will pinch it again and push it to the extremity. Take the paper, push it all the way in. As you see here, it's touching this latch, and that's not how it's supposed to be. If the paper doesn't fit exactly, move the latch slightly. It's okay if it's not on the line sometimes. Put the paper and then bring this latch slightly so it barely touches the paper. Do the same for the other one. Bring it until it almost touches the paper, like that. You're going to notice on this one you have a line. Never put a stack of paper that goes above the last line. If not, it will jam. So once you have input your paper, you can close the lid. The second paper input is located on the back. You can put a different type of paper over there. To extend it, you're going to open the lid. You're going to take this gray part and you're going to pull it all the way up, and you're going to let it rest on its back at an angle. Same thing over here. We're going to have this tab that we can move depending the type of paper we want to input. The maximum size paper that this printer takes is 13 by 19. It's huge. It's called A3 Plus, and you're going to find it over here. If you want to print on this type of paper, the biggest paper this printer can take, you will have to input on the back, not on the front. On the front, the maximum is 11 by 17 inches. So once you have put this tab on the extremity, you're going to take your paper, and if you're trying to print on glossy paper like I do, you're going to put the glossy side facing you. So I have this huge 13 by 19 paper over here with the glossy side because it's a photo paper. And by the way, I'll put links in the description if you want to get paper for this printer. Not only huge ones like this one, but also regular. So check my Amazon links. And once you have put the paper, you're going to make sure you glide it to the maximum down. So you're going to push it slightly until you feel a resistance. This is how you input paper in the back. You're going to notice on the screen that it asks you to tell the printer which paper you have input. So over here, I have the back. Okay, the back paper input, paper size. Well, I will tap here and I will input my paper size. Let me find it. So it's A3 Plus. Here we go, this one. In my case, and it's not plain paper, I'm printing on glossy paper. Close. And same thing on the front. Once you have input your paper, so let's say I'm loading it, I'm closing this, I'll be asked, as you see, it's blue, the front input is blue. I'll ask to input which kind of paper I have put there, and in my case it's letter size, plain paper, so I won't have to change it. Let me show you how to set up your iPhone with your Epson WorkForce WF-7820. I'll show you how to connect, how to print, and also how to scan. So let's get started. Step number one is to connect this printer to the same Wi-Fi network as your iPhone. So let's go on the display here. I'll show you how this first part is done. So here, this is the main menu of the printer. If you don't see it, press the home button so we all start on the same page. You're going to tap on the top of the screen where you see the Wi-Fi symbol. You're going to select router. Start setup. Wi-Fi setup wizard, the first option should be selected. Wait a few seconds and a list of all the different Wi-Fi networks currently around the printer will be shown to you. You need to find, well, your network, and you can go down, it's a touch screen, so find your network, tap on it, tap on enter password right under it where it says enter, and type your password using this keyboard. If you have numbers, well, you can select numbers. Once you're done typing, you're going to press OK. Then select Start Setup. Wait until the connection is enabled. Usually it takes around 20 seconds at this point. Don't touch anything. At the end, you're going to get the blue check mark signifying that the printer is now connected. Then you're going to go on the App Store and we need to download the Epson Smart Panel app. So search for it and download it. Once you open the app, usually after clicking a few things to accept their terms and services, the app will start searching for your printer. Wait a few seconds, be patient. After around 30 seconds, I can see WF-7820 series. I will tap on it. Connection is completed, press OK. And now if you want to print, well, every time you're going to go here and select print. Select if you want to print a picture that is on your iPhone or a document. Then select the picture that you have on your phone or your document. I have selected this one. Before pressing the print button, I suggest you're going to tap on letter over here, or okay, that's the paper size, but once you tap on it, you're going to have more details about your print. Simply select your paper size, make sure this is the right one. The layout, if you want to print borderless, this is the time to select this. Print quality, leave it to standard unless you're printing pictures. In that case, select high. By selecting high, it will take more time to print, but it will give you better result. If you're only printing text, you won't notice these differences. Which one of the paper input you want to use? Because this printer has two of them, one here and one on the back. So I'll tap here and select cassette 1. This is cassette 1. Finally, do you want to print in color or black and white, or do you want to print on both sides of the page, and how many copies do you want? Press done, and once you're ready, press the print button. Extend the paper output and wait. Here we go, my result is out. Let me show you how to scan. This printer has two scanners. If I lift this cover, we have the first one. If I put it down, we also have an automatic document feeder, ADF, on the top. Let me show you how to input paper in both of them. So for the automatic document feeder, right over here, to input paper, where it tells you here, you're going to take your paper or stack of paper, you can have 20 pages at the same time, and you're going to glide them with the top part of your text facing the left side, as you see right now, and with whatever you want to scan, facing up. You're going to glide And you have those tabs on the side where you can move them. I'm scanning letter size, so LTR. Make sure you stop beside the size of the paper you're trying to scan. Okay, great. So this is how you input paper in the automatic document feeder. In the future, by the way, if it jams, there's a way here we go, to open this panel and unjam the automatic document feeder. If you want to scan using the scanner glass, you're going to open, and let me take this paper and I'm going to put it facing down with the top part of the document towards the left. And then I will glide the document until it touches the top left corner, the one with an arrow. And then I will close the lid. On the main page of the app, you're going to tap on Scan, select where you have input your document, in my case the scanner glass. Select your document size, if you want to scan in color or black and white. The resolution, leave it to 200 dpi in most of the time. If you're scanning a document like let's say some art, maybe a painting, a picture, in that case select high. It will give you the best result. It will also take a while to scan, so that's the trade-off. That's why I'm suggesting to leave it at 200. And then you have remove background. Don't touch those things. The important thing is here, image format, select in which format you would like it to be saved. Then press the start button and wait. If you have selected 200 dpi, it will take around 15 seconds to scan. The result is not yet saved on your iPhone. You can crop it, you can rotate it, but at the end you need to press next. This is the name of the file that you can change by tapping on it. Okay, here we go. The keyboard will pop and you'll be able to delete and give this scan a new name if you're not happy with this one. And at the end you have save, if you want to save it on the memory of your iPhone, or this square with an arrow in case you want to share it with your contacts or with certain apps. Only after pressing one of these options, the document will be saved. So this is about it. If this video was helpful, I'll put links in the description towards ink cartridges compatible with this printer, original ones from Amazon. So check my Amazon links. You support my channel every time you go through them to purchase your replacement ink. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.